Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Iliana Magger, and here are the top headlines of the day in Greece. Former House Speaker and New Democracy MP Konstantinos Tasoulas was sworn in as President of the Hellenic Republic earlier today. Former Greek President and the first woman to hold this position, Katerina Sakelaropoulou, congratulated Mr. Tasoulas during the handover ceremony, which took place at the presidential mansion in downtown Athens. In his largely ceremonial role, Mr. Tasoulas, who was sworn in at Parliament, mentioned that he has three main goals: to defend the observance of the Constitution and the country's national integrity, the public interest, and the rights and progress of the Greek people. Course of Freedom, a leftist party, and Greek Solution, an ultra-nationalist party, were not present at the swearing-in ceremony of the new president in protest of both the government and Mr. Tasoulas himself due to the Tempe tragedy. About an hour later, Greek students once again protested over the 2023 Tempe train crash. Student associations have also organized a concert in honor of the lives lost in the crash, which will take place today at 7 p.m. Earlier today, Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis bowed in front of the names of the 57 victims of the deadly train crash, which are written in red paint in front of the Greek Parliament. At the same time, relatives of some of the victims have filed lawsuits against members of the government, namely Mr. Mitsotakis and former ministers Kostas Karamanlis and Christos Spyrgis. Some have filed a lawsuit against the newly sworn-in president of the Hellenic Republic, Mr. Tasoulas. And what is more, a sweeping government reshuffle is expected to be announced as Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis seeks to recalibrate his administration. Now, the prosecutor in the retrial of 21 defendants implicated in the Mati tragedy, a wildfire that claimed 104 lives in 2018 in the East Attica seaside town of Mati, is seeking guilty verdicts for 12 of them. Among them are former Attica Regional Governor Rena Dourou and former Afina and Pikermi Mayor Evangelos Bournous. In her closing arguments delivered earlier today, prosecutor Stamatina Perimeni said that Ms. Dourou had failed to mobilize the civil protection mechanism as she should have. She also accused Mr. Bournous of failing to inform residents about the danger the fire posed. The case was sent back to trial after the original verdicts were deemed too lenient. Now, Greek Foreign Minister George Gerapetritis had a trilateral meeting with the foreign ministers of Cyprus and Israel earlier today. Greek Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis is also scheduled to have a meeting with the Foreign Minister of Israel, Gideon Saar, at 6 p.m. this afternoon. Earlier today, the Prime Minister also had a meeting with the European Stability Mechanism's Managing Director, Pierre Gramegna. In other news, a man was found dead inside an Airbnb apartment in Athens' Omonia district earlier today. According to police sources, the apartment owner called the police saying he discovered a man tied to a bed with a bag over his head. Authorities have launched an investigation into the case. Now, an international team of underwater archaeologists said it discovered key parts of an ancient Greek port underwater near Tolo in Argolis on the Peloponnese Peninsula. The research started in 2022 by the effort of Underwater Antiquities of Greece, the Swedish Institute in Athens, Stockholm University, the University of Gothenburg, and the Nordic Maritime Group. Under the leadership of Greek archaeologist Panagiote Galiatsatou and alongside Swedish experts, the team documented a 16-square-meter section in detail, uncovering significant architectural remains indicative of the ancient port's infrastructure. They also found ceramic fragments, which are expected to provide insights into when the port was operating. That was all for today. Tune in again tomorrow for the only English language news bulletin in the country, and ladies and gentlemen, have a good afternoon.